Hi guys, good morning. How are you?
Hi teacher, how are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
Good.
Excellent. Okay, today we are going to make a review of the topic that we have been talking about these weeks. That is, of course, the independence. Why? Because I am, well, as you know, last week I asked for a scheme of the stages of independence, and I want to make it clearer, okay? So, what else? You see, this week I didn't upload new notes because of that, okay? Because I wanted the week of okay? Well, what else? This week the week is going to start. I'm going to upload new notes. I'm going to start uploading them. What else? For the next class, I think I'm going to make a Kahoot so I can see the things you can remember. Well, I don't know what else to say, but let's start the class. If I remember something, I told at the last time, okay? So let's. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. But it doesn't want to. Okay, really. Okay, so we are going to start with this of the stages of independence. Well, to begin this, we have to remember the first attempt of independence. You have to remember that the first attempt was by Primo de Verdad and the Viceroy Iturrigaray, okay? Primo de Verdad proposed that the Viceroy Iturrigaray call a junta gubernativa, okay? What for? Well, to assume the leadership of New Spain in name of Fernando VII, who was the governor in Spain but by that time. Can anyone remember? Anyone? Who was the governor in Spain by that time? Okay, I'm going to answer. We are talking about of Joseph Bonaparte, okay? Remember that Joseph Bonaparte was the one in the power in Spain by that time. Why? Because that's something crucial for the start of the independence, okay? You have to remember that. We already talked about that in the last, well, no, it wasn't the last time, but we already talked about that in the causes for independence, okay? So that's something. Well, I was telling you that who were the people that assist to this Junta Gubernativa? Well, the Royal Audiencia, the City Council, the church. And what happened with that? It didn't work. So the Royal Audiencia dismissed the Viceroy Iturrigaray on September 15, 1808. And of course, that's something bad because the Viceroy can't go against the government. That's why they dismissed him. Well, the next Viceroy was Pedro Garibay, okay? Pedro Garibay was named viceroy, and that ends this, okay? So the initiation goes 1810 to 1811, okay, by Miguel Hidalgo. Miguel Hidalgo is the leader, okay, remember that. In this first stage, we are talking about the conspiracy of Querétaro. The conspirators, they are in here, okay? Miguel Hidalgo, Ignacio Allende, Juan Aldama, Domínguez, José Ortiz de Domínguez. Well, all these characters were the conspirators of Querétaro, okay? So by this time, in September 14, was named Francisco Javier Venegas y Saavedra as viceroy, okay? So remember that I already told you that in this part, or this point of the history, we had a lot of viceroys, okay? We are talking about the time of the, we are talking about the time of the independence. In this period, we had a lot of viceroys. Remember that also, I already told you that in all the period of New Spain, we had 63 viceroys in total, okay? But in the period of the independence, we had a lot of changes because everything, of course, that was happening. Okay, so next. Once the conspiracy was discovered, Hidalgo started the armed movement. Who can tell me who was the person that noticed Hidalgo that they, of course, that they had been discovered? Dulce.
José Ortiz de Domínguez.
Exactly. So she let him know, or let them know, because Dosan was just Hidalgo, that they were discovered. So they decided to start the movement before they had planned, okay? They started the movement, you remember, on September 16, 1810. He called upon the population to fight oppression. A curious fact, did you know that we are the only country that celebrates the initiation of the independence and not the end? Curious, right? But that's something. Well, and remember, this movement is known as El Grito de Dolores, okay? Well, another point is that, of course, Miguel Hidalgo, you know, grabbed the banner of the Mexican Virgin of Guadalupe. And another point you have to remember of him is the took of the Alhóndiga de Granaditas on September 28. What happened in there? Well, by this point, all the Spaniards knew that Miguel Hidalgo was coming. So they decided to hid in the Alhóndiga, and when Hidalgo arrived, he decided to burn the Alhóndiga. So a lot of people died in there. Well, this is also something. They declare an end to slavery. That's why Hidalgo is so recognized. Hidalgo was a brilliant person, did you know? Hidalgo has a lot of money, but he gave that money to the poor people. He knew a lot of languages. He was something. But okay. Well, yes, he had a lot of battles, and the most important are these ones, because the battle in Monte de las Cruces on October 30, 1810 was a win one. By this time, remember that also was founded El Despertador Americano, that was a newspaper for the people, of course, but this newspaper spread the movement, the things that was happening on the movement. So the people started to be interested in joining the movement, okay? And then we have the battle in Puente de Calderón that was crucial, because that was the battle where Hidalgo was defeated, okay? On January 17, 1811. And well, in March 18 11, Hidalgo and Allende were captured in Texas and returned to Calleja. Both, well, 1 point. They were captured in Texas because they were looking for help of Estados Unidos, okay, for the USA. So in this journey, they were captured. And finally, both were executed under decapitated heads, were hung from the granary walls in Guanajuato for 10 years as a macabre warning to the public. Okay, we continue with the organization that goes from 1811 to 1815, and the leader is Jose Maria Morelos y Pavón. We are all agree, right? In this point is crucial to remember the Cadiz Constitution, okay? Well, we know the Cadiz Constitution by its name or by the Spanish Constitution of 1812, or which was its nickname. It had a nickname. Can you remember it? The nickname of the Cadiz Constitution, yes, Dulce?
I think it was something related to Peppa.
Yes. Remember the character if you want to remember this. Okay. Why? Okay, the last class I told you that I was going to explain that. It's a fun fact. By the time the Constitution born, it was celebrated in Spain, the day of San Jose. And here says, okay. And you know, we call the people that is named Jose as Pepe, but this female, so Pepa. And they have a lema that for that constitution that it is called Viva la Pepa. So it is really funny. Okay, for the next point, this constitution gave widespread powers to the parliament, reduced the executive power of the king, proclaimed popular sovereignty, decreed freedom of the press and of expression, and abolished the Inquisition, okay? Sorry, I had forgot to tell you that you don't have to copy. As always, I prefer you to put attention. All this information, you already have it on Schoology, on your notes, on your book. That's why I always put these references, okay? And also, I'm going to be uploading this file today, okay? So you can study from here. It's shorter than all the notes you already have. But okay, so I continue. It was up to Morelos to continue the insurgent struggle, you know that. So he managed to control the strategic places like Chilapa, Chilpancingo, and he exposes his political, social, and economic ideals to the Congress of Chilpancingo on September 14, 1830. Okay? His ideas were written up and exposed in his speech, Los Sentimientos de la Nación. That is a really famous document, okay? And a really important one, because Morelos is recognized by that document, okay? In March 4th was named Felix Maria Calleja as viceroy. Do you remember why this man started to be a viceroy? Yes, Dulce?
Because he was the general that captured Hidalgo and Allende, and he executed them.
Yes, of course. And that's why he became so popular. And because he was a real man that accomplished all the things that the crown asked him, well, ta-da, here's your prize. You're viceroy now. Okay, so the return of Fernando VII as Spanish emperor on May 1814. This is incredible, because remember that Fernando VII, well, in Spain, not just in Spain, in all Europe, they defeat Napoleon Bonaparte. So Fernando VII came back, okay, as governor, as king. So this meant a return to absolutism and the abolishment of the Spanish Constitution of 1812, okay? Remember that the Spanish Constitution was liberal, so this is something really sad. A Apatzingan Constitution was promulgated by the Insurgent Congress on October 22, 1814. That's where Morelos advocated the end of the caste system, as well as equal rights for all regardless of race, okay? What happened next? You know what happened next. The apprehension and execution of Morelos on September 22, 1850, okay? So we are continuing with the third stage, the resistance. It goes from 1816 to 1821, and their leader was Vicente Guerrero. One thing, a lot of you on your homework had already put me that was Vicente Guerrero, that was Guadalupe Victoria, also one, a lot of you also put Iturbide, and we are leaving it as one leader, okay? This one leader, the representative one, Vicente Guerrero. Why? Because, as here we have, he promotes the fight for sovereignty. This was a difficult stage because of this, okay? Remember, this stage is characterized by the resistance of guerrilla warfare, okay? And well, Viceroy Calleja was replaced by Juan Ruiz de Apodaca in September 1816, okay? Why he's important? Because he offered a pardon to the rebels in exchange for their surrender. So that means that a lot of people started to accept this pardon, and of course there were a lot of, well, less people in this movement, okay, because of that. Javier Mina, what happened with Javier Mina? He's an important one because he offered, because he supported the insurgent cause, okay? So he decided to support the insurgent cause on April. Remember, he came from Spain because he was an opponent of Fernando VII, but he didn't last long because he was defeated and shot on November 11, okay, of 1817. So we passed to the last stage, the one that we call consummation, and it is only in 1821. It was shorter. Why? Because of the Cadiz Constitution. Okay, before that, who was the leader? Agustín de Iturbide. We leave it like that, okay? This stage, an event in Spain, will again change the situation in 1820. Why? Because Fernando VII faced a liberal movement, okay? In which the commander Rafael Diego forced him to restore the Spanish Constitution of 1812. That means that all the supporters of the realism who had fought against the emancipation movement were now interested in the consummation of the movement. Okay, why? Well, in order to keep their privileges intact without being affected by the Cadiz Constitution. And to finish this, Vicente Guerrero and Iturbide negotiated to join forces to fight for independence. And of course, Guerrero finally agreed to meet with Iturbide in Acatempan in February 1821. Do you remember how can we call this movement of the history? The famous what of Acatempan? Yes, Dulce.
The Hog of Acatempan?
Yes, that's right. The famous hog that symbolizes the join of forces, of course. And then on February 24, 1821, they signed the plan of Iguala. Remember that name. It established equal opportunity for employment and respect for people and property, okay? So before I pass to the next page, tell me, who was the last Viceroy of New Spain? Good.
Juan O'Donoghue.
Excellent. And here we have it. The Army Trigarante is established to promote peace and independence. What happened next? Well, you know that Apodaca was replaced as Viceroy. Later, Spain sent Juan O'Donoghue, and he quickly realized that independence was to be a reality and met with Iturbide to ratify the plan. One point. The Army Trigarante is the same as the Army of the Three Guarantees, okay? It's the same thing. We are talking about the same thing, okay? So don't be confused. Okay, next point. Iturbide negotiated with him in what then became the Treaty of Cordoba. That's another point to remember. In August 24, 1821, pursuant to which the sovereignty of Mexico is decreed, okay? On September 27, 1821, the Army of the Three Guarantees, also known as Army of Trigarante, with Iturbide at the helm, made its triumphal entry into Mexico City, okay? Well, that's all, almost. You have to remember these last points. Well, with the Treaty of Cordoba, Viceroy Juan O'Donoghue recognized the independence of Mexico in 1821. But you have to remember that Spain recognizes Mexico as independent until 1836, a lot of time later, okay? After the death of Fernando VII. I already told you that Fernando VII tried to reconquer Mexico a lot of times, but he can't, okay? Sorry, he couldn't. Okay, well, that's all, okay? Do you have any questions? Well, that was a review, okay? Okay. And I wanted to tell you that, please guys, you have to put a lot of effort in this subject, okay? Why? Because I'm a little bit worried for you. I don't know. I know this has been difficult with all the changes. At first in classes, presential classes, and then online classes. It's difficult, I know, but you have to put a lot of effort in all the subjects. But I'm worried about my subject because I don't know if you are really putting attention, if you are putting an effort, or you are just like, I don't care, this is this subject. Why? Because just check your results on the quizzes. Oh my god, you have really low grades. So you need to get a lot of effort in this subject, okay? Please. Not for me, for you. Okay, I'm going to pass assistance. So answer me so you can complain later. Yes, I was in your class and you didn't pass me assistance. Yes, I passed it, but you didn't answer. Okay, so is here Gerardo? No? Miguel? Miguel? Okay, he didn't came. Emiliano? Emiliano?
Here.
Okay. Natalie?
Teacher, here, amigo.
Luis Jair?
Yo, Miss, yo.
Okay, José
Sí,
Iván?
pero no cierres lo que tengo abierto. Solo abre otras pestañas.
José Iván?
Presente.
Zaira?
Presente.
Alexia? Alexia, ¿tiene
Presente.
Alexia, okay. Sofía,
Aquí. Aquí.
open your cameras, please, so I can see you. Carlos,
Aquí.
okay. Edgar,
Here. Aquí estoy.
okay.
Bien dicho, Edgar.
Miss, me saltó
Who? Carlos?
Héctor.
Pobre
No,
Héctor.
Héctor.
Pobre
Carlos
de
is here.
Iba después de Alexia.
Yes, sorry. Thank you for telling me that.
Miss,
Yes.
¿sí me pasó a mí?
Natalie? Yes.
Sí. Ok, gracias.
Yes, you're welcome.
Buenos días, maestra.
A mí también. Me pasó.
Ivana? Carlos, yes. Here.
Ah, pues, sí.
Luana, here. Alexander?
Aquí.
Alexander, okay.
Yo.
Francisco, Cristian, Francisco?
¿Ya nos podemos retirar?
Yes, you can leave.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, take care. Who else? Christian? No?
What?
Yes, you're there. María José?
Here.
Okay. Luna?
Aquí.
Excellent. Victoria?
Here.
Okay. Daniela?
Here.
Excellent. Okay, goodbye, Second A. Second B. Dulce?
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye, take care.
Do we open the camera?
Yes, please.
Here.
Dulce is here. Excellent. Farid?
Here.
Farid, okay. Alessandra?
Cuando te despides, prendes la cámara. Yes, miss.
Alessandra?
I'm just a lovely kitty.
You're there, but
I
I
really
can hear you.
lovely.
Fernanda, remember to open your cameras, please. Fernanda? Fernanda,
I actually hate being mean.
you're there.
It's okay.
Alejandro?
I actually prefer to be more cutesy.
Okay.
Oh God.
Aldo?
The Festus!
Presente.
The Festus!
Okay. Valentina?
Presente.
Okay, you're there. Ilse? Ilse didn't came. Sergio?
Presente.
Sergio's there. Bárbara? Bárbara didn't came. Habib?
Here. Presente.
Okay. Hi, Habib. Alberto? Alberto is there. The Simpsons. Elizabeth? Elizabeth? No? Sebastián? Sebastián? No? Okay, bye. Camila?
Here, teacher.
Okay, excellent. Eduardo?
Aquí.
Okay. Ares? Ana?
Here.
Okay. Beatriz?
Here.
Wait. Beatriz is there. Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth. I just see your message. Ivana, Alexa?
Here.
Okay. Nemi?
Here.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Take care. See you next week. Goodbye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.